Welcome back to my channel. I'm Beth Morgan, the Poor Valley Princess, and today it's the day we've all been waiting for. It's the winter prediction. So right now it is November of 2025 and I have been gathering data for the last couple of weeks for our big prediction. So as I told you last year, we have a lady in our town. Her name is Miss Hannah, and everyone in our county kind of feeds information to her throughout the month of August, keeping up with the local fog count. Okay, so she kind of keeps up with pretty much our whole area, our whole general area, and then she comes up with a number of fogs that we've had. So it's really fun to keep up with all the different areas and the different fogs that we have. And so I have done that throughout the month of August. I kept up with specifically my little part of rural Appalachia and then also her big count, to see how it compared with our whole county area. And this is what I've come up with, okay? So for my little rural part of Appalachia, we had 4 big fogs in August. So if you go by the old wives' tale, then that means we're gonna have 4 big significant snowfalls throughout the upcoming winter. Yay! So get ready, 4 big snowfalls. Then we had 1 moderate fog. So for that, we're gonna say 1, okay, pretty good snow. And then we had 10 scattered fogs. So not big blankety fogs, just little scattered fogs in our area. So we're gonna call that 10 flurry events. Now, if my math is correct, that's a total of 15 snows. We've already experienced our first snowfall here in my little part of Appalachia that we're gonna call a flurry event, because it was just enough to put us on a 2-hour delay for our school back on November 10th. And so we're gonna call that our first flurry. So right now, 1 flurry, 14 snows to go for our 2025-2026 winter season. I'm excited to see if that plays out. Now, Craig and I were walking in the field and we saw an amazing sight. And I'm going to pause right here and let you see that. I'm standing here under this poplar tree, and if you look up, you can see way up high there is a very thick hornet's nest. And if you follow all of the old wives' tales, a high, thick hornet's nest means high snow coming this winter. So if we pay attention, we're going to have a bad winter this year. So a high nest, like the one we just saw, means that the snow is going to pile up high this winter. So if I were you, I would be making preparations for a hard winter. We'll see if it comes true. So if you follow the folklore, the higher that the hornets build their nest in these trees, and that poplar tree, we're guessing this hornet's nest was 40 foot or so in the air. The higher they build, then the higher the snowfall is supposed to be for that year. So if we follow that wisdom, the hornets are saying we're gonna have those big snows. Yay! Okay, so there's a few other things that we've also looked at. We cut open a persimmon and the inside did look like a spoon. I'll pause here and show you a picture of that. So if you get a spoon on the inside, that means snow is coming for the winter. So that was a good sign. I'll pause here and show you that. And so that small little band on the end of that roly-poly means maybe not so much snow. So that's our first negative snow sign that we've seen. And then, well, we looked around the yard and this is the only roly-poly we could find. He's black on the ends, pretty light colored. He's pretty thick. I don't know. What do you think, Craig? And so that small little band on the end of that roly-poly means maybe not so much snow. So that's our first negative snow sign that we've seen. And then here's a few other things. So the walnuts this year have been so plentiful. And when you have a huge walnut crop, that means big snow. The husks of the corn have been very thick, and so that means a lot of snow as well. And then, let me think, the onion skin. So onion and apple skins also very thick this year. So that's looking good for some big snow coming up. And then I'll say the Farmer's Almanac, I'll say this, the Farmer's Almanac for this year did say that we were gonna have dramatic, widespread winter weather events. So take that for what it's worth. I hope that means snow. So all of that to say, the Poor Valley Princess weather report is 15 snow events. 4 of them are going to be pretty big, significant snows. And I'm hoping that that's true because I love me some snow. And then I'll tell you one more thing. So Miss Hannah also recorded that we had some thunder on September 27th. And if you count out 6 weeks from that date, that would have been November the 8th. So we should have had a snow on November the 8th. Well, we did not have a snow on the November the 8th, but we did have snow the very next day on the 9th and the 10th. So it was pretty close. It was pretty close. And I'll tell you this, the last time this happened, and she had this recorded, in 2023, we also had thunder on September 27th, and then we did get a snow on November the 8th of that year. So that's pretty interesting that that worked out to be true. So believe it or not, I'm thinking some of these old wives' tales really have some truth behind them. Okay, so you've got the Poor Valley prediction, 15 snows, 4 of them are going to be significant. We'll see. Hey, post below in the comments what you think is going to happen this year. Maybe you kept up with the data in your region. Why don't you post that below and let me know what you think? Or maybe I left out one of your favorite ways of telling what the winter weather will be for the coming year. Please comment below and let us know. I love reading about different ones. Okay, so thank you for joining me here today on this winter weather prediction. I think it's going to be a wintry weather. Anyway, I hope that the holidays coming up for you are very happy. I'm getting ready to go put up more Christmas and get in that holiday season feeling myself. So, see you next time here on The Poor Valley Princess.